Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to gym class. We're gonna come into the gym here, and I just want you to remember the Spartan way to walk into the gym. Okay, that's walking nice and easy to your seat, mouths closed, and we're gonna follow directions and get ready for class. Okay, come on in. Thank you for entering gym class the Spartan way. Now, if you remember, the Spartan way to sit is to sit down, crisscross applesauce, hands in your lap, eyes on me, voice level 0. So we should remember those things from last year. Every time we enter gym, we want to make sure that we follow directions. We're going to talk just for a minute about following directions here on the board. So following directions means to do what someone tells you to do or what someone asks you to do. So I want you to think about this. When mom and dad ask you to do something, it's important to follow directions. When grandpa, grandma, maybe it's uncle or aunt, or you're in school and your teachers ask you to do something, it's important to always follow directions. In gym class, that's important because when we follow directions, one, we get to play a lot more. We get to play more often. We have more time to move and to have fun in gym class when we all follow directions. So one way to follow directions when we come into gym class is coming in the Spartan way, walking at a voice level 0, and then we sit the Spartan way, crisscross applesauce, hands in your laps, eyes on me, voice level 0. The better we follow directions, the sooner we can start playing in class. The other thing, the other reason that we should follow directions is so that nobody gets hurt. So when I give you directions in gym class, the purpose is so that we are safe and everybody gets to have fun. All right, so we want you to be safe as we're moving and as we're playing. All right, so here's what we're going to do today. We're going to follow directions. That's doing what I ask you to do. And I don't get to see you. This is you doing it at home. So mom and dad are going to watch you and kind of help you and make sure that you are following directions at home with the activities that we do. So we're going to work on a couple things. We're going to work on some movements. Okay? We're going to work on walking, skipping, and running. And then we're going to do some fitness exercises. We're going to focus on our upper body strength and our lower body strength. Okay? So I'm going to demonstrate these things real quick. And then I'm going to give you a warm-up to do, okay? So our movements that we're going to work on today, our first one is walking. So when we walk, we want to make sure that we start by standing up nice and tall, looking straight ahead with our hands on our sides. And when we walk, we're going to walk one foot in front of the other, okay? Now, we can walk at different speeds. We can walk nice and easy and slow. Maybe when we're playing a game, we're going to walk a little quicker, a little faster. Maybe if we're really trying to catch somebody, we'll walk as fast as we can to try to tag somebody. But when we're walking, we always have at least one foot on the ground. So we want to understand how to walk really well. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to skip. So skip starts the same way. Eyes straight ahead, standing nice and tall. And this time when we step, we're going to add a little hop. We should land on the same foot that we hop from. Step, hop, step, hop, step, hop, step, hop. Parents, if you're working with your kids, really practice with them, but really making sure that they are hopping off the same foot that they are landing on. Step, hop, step, hop, step, hop. So for some of you, this is going to be really easy, and for some of you, it's going to be challenging. Maybe you haven't tried it before. I just want to encourage you to keep practicing as much as you can. All year long, we're going to practice skipping in gym class. We can also skip at different speeds, just like we can walk at different speeds. The last movement we're going to do is a run. Most of you probably know how to run. You've done it before. That's good. So running, again, we want to look straight ahead, nice and tall. We're going to swing our arms faster. And as we run, we're going to kind of run on our toes because we're going to run really fast here. Okay, you don't have to point your toes down. You're gonna lean forward and run quickly. So we're gonna work on all three of those movements today in our warm-ups and in our activity, okay? Our fitness exercises, our fitness focus for the month of September is gonna be upper body strength and lower body strength. So upper body from our waist up, lower body from our waist down. The upper body strength exercise that we're gonna do today are shoulder taps, okay? Shoulder taps. This is what shoulder taps look like. So we wanna put our hands underneath our shoulders, keep our feet together, and keep our stomach strong so our back is straight. And with shoulder taps, all we're gonna do is touch or tap a shoulder. Okay? So we're gonna touch our opposite shoulder. Now moms and dads, this is important. If we wanna imagine a middle line, a midline in our body, it's important for our kids to learn how to cross that midline and touch the opposite side. When we're doing this, physically it's going to help us develop good control, good upper body strength, but in our brains it's actually developing neural pathways from one side of the brain to the other. In developing those neural pathways, one side of the brain to the other, as we cross the midline, will actually help our kids develop reading abilities. It helps them to learn to track from right to left as they're reading, so it develops some other things just besides upper body strengths. We want to make sure that we can cross the midline. So we're going to do a lot of activities throughout the year that will help us to cross that midline, either with our arms, our feet. We'll do different movements so that we do that, okay? Our lower body exercise is going to be a squat, all right? So a squat, we're going to start in our ready position. Ready position is feet underneath our hips with our knees bent, and we're ready to go, okay? So we're ready. When we squat, we're going to sink our hips just like we're sitting into a chair. So we're going to sit, and then we're going to stand. This is going to help us with our strength and our flexibility. We want to make sure we're moving through a full range of motion. So we're going to sit with our feet flat on the ground, deep, and back up. All right, so my upper body is staying nice and tall, and I'm getting a lot of mobility in my ankles, my knees, and my hips, okay? So this might be a little harder for mom and dad. We'll probably find that the kids can do that one a little easier, all right? So we're gonna combine our movement and our fitness focus for our warm-up. So we'll have everybody stand up. Come on over here. This is my daughter, Kate. She was Spartan Sally last week. Kate's gonna help demonstrate our warm-up for us today, all right? So we're in the gym. We're gonna move about 15 yards or so from sideline to sideline, so you can find a place in the yard or the driveway and space out, walk 20 big steps. Maybe put a glove down in one spot and the other spot, or a coat, or a shoe, something like that. Sidewalk chalk, mark off a couple lines so you know the distance you're gonna do. So here's our warm-up. We're gonna practice our movements and our exercises. So we're gonna walk first, okay? I'll let you walk at the speed you wanna walk. You ready? Go. So we're gonna walk first. When we get to this side, we're gonna do 5 squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 squats, and then we're going to do 5 shoulder taps on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're up. Our next movement is going to be a skip. Remember, step, hop, step, hop, step, hop. Do the best you can. When we get to this side, 5 squats. And 5 shoulder taps. last movement is a run. Kate's faster than I am. So we're going to do 5 squats. And 5 shoulder taps. And there's 5. So we're going to count that as 1 round. 1 round. So we did all of our movements. Walk. We do our exercises. Skip. We do our exercises. Run. We do our exercises. That's 1 round. So for our warm-ups, we're going to do 3 rounds total. So I would like you to repeat that same thing 2 more times. You can take a little break in the middle if you need to. Just rest. But 3 rounds of walking, skipping, and running, and then 5 shoulder taps and 5 squats. Here's our activity. Here's our activity. After you complete your warm-up, our activity is going to be partner tag. So in partner tag, we're still going to do our movements. We're still going to do our fitness focus. We're just going to put them together in a game of tag. All right? So you need a partner for this one. Our partner is going to be Kate. Our boundaries, we want to make sure we have boundaries, because sometimes we have people that are faster than others, so boundaries allow us to stay in one place, keep us close enough so that one person doesn't have an advantage. So our boundaries are going to be the purple line. So Kate needs to stay inside the purple line. I need to stay inside the purple line. And Kate is going to be it first. Kate's going to be it first. Kate, what do you want our movement to be? Nice and loud.
Skip.
Skip. So our movement is going to be a skip. So we're both going to move by skipping. The tagger and their partner, we're both going to skip. What would you like our fitness activity to be?
Shoulder taps.
Shoulder taps. So when Kate tags me, I'm going to do 5 shoulder taps. After I do my 5 shoulder taps, then I'm going to be it, and I have to move to try to tag Kate. Kate, how am I going to move?
Skipping.
Skipping. Skipping. So we're going to play for 1 minute. We might not go for 1 minute, but I want you to play for 1 minute. All right? Are you ready? How are we going to move?
Skip.
Skip. What's our exercise?
Shoulder taps.
Shoulder taps. All right? So we'll get ready, set, go. So I do the exercise, now I'm in, and I try to tag Kate. Good, you can come back and sit down. Sit down. So you get the idea. Following directions is important. We talked about that when we're playing a game like this, we want to make sure that we follow directions so that we stay safe and so the game stays fair, okay? So I want you to think of, if we start 10 feet apart, right? So that Kate doesn't have an advantage. But if she takes off before I say go, is she following directions? No, so that gives her an unfair advantage. If I'm skipping and she starts running, who's not following directions? Right? Kate would be not following directions. So we want to make sure that we're following directions when we play so that the